Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is the middle of the week when we're going live on this. And we're hoping tonight we're going to complete the second revision of this model. For those who missed it, we were trying to print this off originally, and it just does not want to print by itself, one piece. It's just too much of a behemoth. So we removed the top, and the idea is so that this thing will just fit very nicely right there on the top of it, and it'll print separately. The reason is there's so much support that would need to be brought in to support this overhang that the lower to the printing plate you are, the less support you'll have, of course. If you have it up here, then all that support to hold it up there. So we're going to, basically, I'm going to hide this part here. We've gone in and sealed off all the pieces here so it's nice and smooth on the top. And all we need left is to take care of these bubbles if we can. Thicken this thing up a bit so that there's some thickness to it. And then we're pretty much ready to rock. This was kind of an issue the last time we were working on. And we're going to try to get these bubbles fit up a little bit better. Right now, I basically just went in there and started making segments and joining each individual one at a time, one piece at a time. And it's kind of a slow-going method, but it can work as long as there's enough. As long as there are enough segments, so you can see that this is where we started to begin with, and this is where we're added to it. So we're going to continue using this edit poly and move ourselves around. You can see where we've removed some of the pieces here. We'll continue to move. Let's make sure there's nothing under it. Yeah, it's hollow. We're going to make sure that we can remove a few pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then by that, we're going to go ahead and add a total of 9 segments to this point right here between the two. Let's see. Obviously don't need that many. 1, 2, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's exactly what we need to do. We can ignore that one. And now we just do target welds and go to town on this bad boy if we can get it just in the right position. Yeah. There. That's better. Oops. Well, maybe I did miscalculate. I should have done... Well, no, we'll just do that. And then very quickly we'll... maybe there's 2 pieces there. Let's find out what's the problem here. Is there 2 verts there? No. There looks like there's 2 there, though. Yeah, there is. Yeah. Easy enough. We'll just start here and target that, and then start to town. Let's see. Go there. Oh. What's the, oh. Let's see what I did, I think. I think I extruded it. It's been a couple of days. I think I extruded these out. Yeah. Like that. In that general direction. And then target welded them. Yeah, it's more like it. That keeps them nice and flat. Because I don't want to absorb any of the side of the cauldron. I just wanted this to be, I mean, this is all going to be liquid theoretically. So, it's fine where it is. And then that one. And really, I don't want this one. So we're going to, because it's a little bit too far over. So we're going to put this back where it belongs. We're going to move it over here and do the same thing. Let's see. Okay. I guess I will do this. Move it up there. Doing this right? Yeah, more or less. I could do it to the bottom one too, but this is just how I'm going to do it. It don't matter. Let's see. One, two, three, four. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's a lot more than I need, but it's good enough. You can always bring them back. Bring in the double. Alright. And begin. Yeah, I'm just going to make it like that. Bring it around that way. That works. That works. Yeah, because liquid goes uphill, right? That's alright. We'll move all these up so they're all on the same plane. All right. Problem is, this cauldron is kind of at an angle. And that's just how it's going to have to be. You can bring it up, but this piece has to come up way up here. And we may do that here in a second, but for now we're just worried about joining these pieces together and getting them all fused. Now this is kind of an easy one. You go in here and select the same number. Make sure you have the right ones, which I don't. But we're going to delete these pieces here. And select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll just bridge these two pieces. But first I want to move this back just a tad bit. Move it up just a bit. Like around there. And then bridge these things, and they should just fit just fine. Just like that. And it's a cheap, easy way of doing it. And do the same thing over here. May not be able to do as many. That's only 3. I'm not going to be able to do much. The blasted Windows key again. Something like that. And then get those edges in there. Bridge them. Something like that. And then you can do the same thing for these last pieces here. Very simple like. And then just border it up. Cap it. Done. Simple. Simple like simple polytricks. That's right. Alright. Next, I'm going to put this up so it's kind of at an angle. Let's see, and why not bring that one out? There's a big gap here, so there's really no need for all that space. We just bring it around and then bring it down. That will be the piece that we actually fuse to it. But for here, we just need to make, for now, we just need to make one right there. And then we take F3, and we don't want this one. We want to do the top one to right there so that we can fuse that together. And that covers up a lot of ground. We'll do that with this area too. There's no need to have anything other than a flat surface because it is just liquid. And then we can just grab a few of these here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do 7 to make it easy. And we'll do the same thing here. And really, we're just going around adding the number of segments that you need, and not really worrying about. I'm going to do that one too because it's like right there. Yeah, these are more lined up. Now it looks like they're all flat and all that, but they're not. They go down for count. Again, we'll go in here and we'll grab all this thing and flatten it out so it's nice and even once we get all done. So it'll work. It'll work. I am wanting to put this bad boy, bring this bad boy up a little bit. Something like that. Move them out. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Just giving some thought here. Moving them down for now. Like I said, we'll get these all leveled out because there's no need for any of that ugliness. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's too far. That goes right into the edge of that cauldron there. Let's shrink it down just a hair. You don't want it too small because that was kind of the whole point of it to begin with. Alright, and then just start fusing them together. And do the same thing here where we just kind of, not border, just edge. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. I can only do 4 of them. We want to keep the numbers and not have to twist it too much because, yeah. Oops, that's the reason that'll definitely not work whenever it's like that. It has to be an edge. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to make sure that they're actual edges down at the bottom, not in the middle of the piece. They won't bridge that way. It's got to be the base. Like that. Okay. Alright. Uno momento. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Let's do this. Target that one. Get kind of an angle there. Bring that out. I mean, I do there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do 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 do. Bridge. What am I doing? Alright. So let's do it again right here. Grab. Grab. Grab, grab. Grab. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll just bridge that bad boy. We'll gap that in. 6. Question is, can you just gap these things? You possibly can now. There's an outside chance to make it like that, and it might work. Yeah, the problem is that you've got all kinds of messes here. We can give it a shot and see if it works, though. Let's just see, just for sake of speeding this thing along, saving some time. I just want to get just this little segment. there. And then let's see. I don't want the top bubbles. I just want the bottom ones. Let's see. Oh, how do we do this? I guess we could technically detach it so we get out of the way of this cauldron and then just reattach it when we get back. Are there... Let me see if there is a way to do that, because does it have actual... Yeah, technically we could. Why? We could try it. Alright. So... Oh no, that's not what I want. I take that back. I don't want to do that yet, because I need to have this thing flattened as well. Man, this is going to be a pain in the butt. Put them all together again. Crap! I'm just going to do... Boy. Just going to bring this thing up. I'm going to bring all this up, really. Yeah, see, it's going to have to come... they're going to have to just be forcefully pulled up. Which causes issues. One second. I want to basically just get like maybe maybe just ignore the top, just bring in these pieces and then bring the sides in as I can go. So yeah, we're gonna have to go in here. Oh man. Sometimes it's tedious because, like I said, I've never liked organic don't really like organic modeling, and this is, in my opinion, is. Alright, now I've got around the circumference of the liquid. Now I need everything that is going to be level to this. So all these pieces that are in between, we're all going to flatten these things out. Including the bases of the bubbles, the ones that have extruded pieces to it, including up. We'll worry about that extra part later because that all comes upward. So we're ignore this piece because it does come up over the bubble. Same for this. Get these two. And that. Do these as well. Duty. Tedious work makes the job feel great. Alright, did we get everything? No, we sure, of course, did not. Of course, we missed a couple. Of course, we did. I'm gonna grab as many as I can. Alright. Let's see, I don't want to mess with that because it goes up. I do want to take this, and I do want to take these. I do want to take them. And you'll see what I'm talking about and why I'm doing this, because I want to take all of these that are subject to being on the same level. But I'm leaving out these corners because I'll manually have to move those. I don't want them to sit on top of each other. I want them to be kind of over here. We'll deal with that here in a second. Oh yeah, I need to Need these last pieces here. And hopefully that's it. Like I said, we're going to ignore the pieces up here because they kind of go up a little higher than everything else. Alright, so for this, I want to actually bring everything downward. Quite a bit, actually. And I wanted to get it completely out of the way, so I can just see what's going on down here. Because we'll move these up again. I just want to see all the area here. And what we're going to do here is hit the Z button here, and it should flatten everything out to a nice even matter right there, which it did. So that got us the part that we want. And now that we've got it all set up, see how low it is? And we're going to have to basically bring this up substantially. But now what we want to do is we want to bring up everything together in perfect harmony. And you see I screwed up and grabbed that extra one I shouldn't have, but we can fix that later. But we'll have to bring the bubbles up as we move this thing upward. So right now the goal is to bring all this that we have selected up to about right here, so that this is the water level. This edge here is going to have to come up eventually to match the level of this, but we need to have a frame of reference of how high we want to get it to begin with. And now that we got this all flattened, this whole area now is completely flat, so the water is as it should be. And we'll fix these in a second, but more or less it's ready to go, and it should be fine. We can now it's all one piece. So I want to bring this bubble down first. These actual bubbles come down first, so that they're now even with this. Wow, this is a kind of an odd looking piece here. Let's move this away. There you go. So it's in there. And then might as well just clean these things up a little bit. Stuff like that. Stuff like this. This may have an issue. It really shouldn't have done that. I should have probably kept it down here. So let's see if we can join this. And we can. And that way it's a little cleaner. And do the same thing probably for this one too. Yeah, because it's sticking right up there. And we don't want that. We want it down here along with its brothers and sisters. This one's still fine up there. We'll bring all these down later. And this one can actually come outward. So it's part of it. Okay. I know bubbles don't spread out, but who cares? Alright, so now we need to get these three here leveled down. One second. Okay. So to grab this, we need to, boy. We're going to try our best to select, oh man. And then deselect everything that's not a part of those 3 circles, and including the ground. So the actual circle parts. Oops. You gotta be careful with deselecting here. Like I said, I want everything but the pieces. And you have to go in between this, so you got to be narrow with your selection tool. You can go in and change your selection key so it's not a square or rectangle, and it's something that's, there's a way to change up here. You can change it to this one, and then it does it in whatever design you want to make it. I personally don't like that because it takes too long, but it's okay. All right, so we've got the pieces there, not the pieces that we want to bring down, because we want to bring it this all downwards a little bit so that these bottom pieces are not so tall. So we actually want to deselect the sides because we're going to be bringing this thing down a notch. So we've got now just the upper part, see that? And not the lower part, because we're just going to bring them straight down. Something like that. And then we'll deselect, because we still need to keep going because these pieces are too high, these 2 big ones. But the smaller one's fine. It's where we need to be. So we need to now deselect that. So we just have these pieces, and then bring it down a little more. We can worry about that little segment there. We'll bring it back up here in a bit. But deselect that one now, and that one's pretty much where it's at. Those are good now. So now we want to take care of this one little piece right here. All right. So now that we got all that, now all the bubbles are where they should be, in the same type of height. So we've got that. Now the next step is to grab all this, just the water and the bubbles, and bring it up to the level that we want it to be in. So we want to make sure that we're not selecting to move, but just selecting. And we want to make sure that we have basically all of this. Not the cauldron part, but just the liquid. In other words, everything around this piece should be relatively easy to get. There's not that much underneath, and what there is, we can deselect it all. And then obviously go down to your P and go to F3, just to make sure. We're going to fix all these artifacts here. There's a few of them right, three of them that I see. We'll fix those here in a second. In fact, we can actually fix them right now by cranking this thing all the way up, get them out of the way so we get away from everything else, and then we can work on trying to fix this up. This is one of the reasons it's got a little cross there. It does not, this text does not need to be there. Get rid of that. Here's another one, just by itself. It was sitting there. It wasn't chained to anything. That's 2 of them. Let's go back and select. See why I moved it up, so we can just real quickly drag that and select it, and so we can see that again. So we fixed 2 of the artifacts, which is good, but we still got this one. This one's an issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this one down a bit, and it's going to transform the shape of our cauldron, but now it's nice and clean. but we'll change the cauldron. So now that we got that done, we can bring it back down. And what we want is, you need it to be around there. Just have a little bit of a lip. And now we just bring the ridge. We just bring all of these pieces right up, and we're gonna have to move this one because we did move the water. So we gotta. Oops. There. I'm gonna move that up a little bit. May have to move this thing out just a tad bit. This out just a tad bit. That way we adjust. Get that on the same level. That way we adjust it based upon what we moved just now. And again, we do the same thing for these. We just move them up. Get them, within eyeball of the other lip on the other side, but really all it matters is that the lip of this cauldron is above the water line, obviously, so it holds the water in like this. Ow, I can't see. Do it from this side. Stuff like that. Ooh, that one's way down in there. I'm going to try to grab all of these bad boys right here. Grab them all? Okay. Don't have to go that far. These guys went up way too far. Sabering. And I don't want to, I kind of want these to more or less be, as much as I like them to be outward, we don't want them too far because then they'll start having supports again. Like right here, there may be a support right there. So, definitely there. Do 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 do. All right, that's good enough. All right, so let's see what this turning on the shell and turning on turbo smooth. Good enough. It's got some weird, funky things right there, but you know, it makes it look like it's thicker. That works for me. We'll need to make the cauldron so that it's not quite as smooth there. But yeah, we pretty much are ready to rock there. So just throw in. I actually really like that expansion there. Wish I could do that with. Ooh, is there more? Yeah, there is. There's. Ooh, don't like the fact that these are down below. Yeah, there's a big hole here, and I'm not really sure I like that. Let's make sure that the rest of these don't have holes. Yeah, they're fine. It was just that one. Okay. Can we loop all of this? No, I didn't think so. It was just that one. Alright. Well, whatever. Now let's just make this cauldron look like it's a little bit rigid. Of course, it won't let me go around. There we go. Double click on things. Sometimes the loop doesn't work. The loop button here, which should select all of the pieces end to end on an edge. Sometimes it doesn't work. If that doesn't work, just double click as many times as you can around it, and you usually can make it work just fine. Let's do with extrude. Negative. Let's do with chamfer, I think. And I want it there, and put one in the middle. And that way you have, it automatically puts, and get it nice and tight. You get it nice and tight there, and then you have to worry about it. Do the same thing for this. But this one actually works a lot better. It didn't quite go all the way around, but it came close. Just keep selecting, keep double clicking, and you might get lucky and get a couple of them. You might have to do all of them single-handedly, but if you double click and you end up getting a whole bunch, then like right here, you got a couple of them there, and you got a couple there. Because you're all, I mean, if it doesn't select it, you're already going to do it. You're going to select them one at a time anyway. So might as well double click all the way around. Okay, do the same thing. You want to chamfer this thing and put the one there, and it should give you what you need on that. Now we do the same thing for the outer shell. Do the same thing. Just have a little 3-piece, and it should work. Let's see if it does. Turn the shell on, turn turbo smooth, and it did. And you see how it has a nice ridge, a nice sharp clean edge, and that's distinct between the cauldron and the water and the liquid or whatever the crap this is. Yeah, and those 3 bubbles, that makes a lot better now. I'm kind of torn now because the bubbles are really good, except that one. I'm gonna get rid of it. As much as I thought it was kind of cool, now I'm not. I'm kind of over it. So in order to get rid of all this, yeah, it kind of sucks. These, I don't think I can get away with doing this, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna try to bring these pieces down so that they are flush. Put it back there off the constraint. Something like that. Yeah, I might be able to get away with this. I don't know. Let's see. And then bring in the double. Brings in the double. And remove that. Remove these. And remove that. Bring these back. I'm just tightening the bubble a little bit so that it has its own downward momentum here. And we're going to fix this area right here. Yeah, look at all that. It's got to go. It's got to go somewhere. It's got to go somewhere. And the only way is down. So we just target the vertices and we should be fine. That's good enough. I gotta do the same blasted thing over here. Rah! But all we're doing is just grabbing burts and bringing them down. So if they're more or less flat with the ground, you don't have to worry about it at this point. Just get them close in proximity and they're good to go. As far as this piece here, again, you can target vertices if you want to and see if you can get away with it. And yeah, you can, just like that. Yeah, it's not pretty, but it works. You can kind of smooth that bubble out a little bit, but it won't matter. It's a bubble. Let's see what it looks like with it. It's not quite the bubble that you want, but it actually looks fine. It's fine. This does not look fine, but the rest of it looks fine. So let's fix this area right here. Ah, there's a reason. It's because you've got all kinds of a polygon just sitting right there and it's lonesome. Are you lonesome tonight? Are you new? Do 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 do. It still looks awful right there. What is going on? Something is afoot. And my guess is that this needs to probably be redone. Let's see if we can grab it again. And it sure enough looks like there's two edges right here. Which there are, which makes me believe there's like a whole bunch of vertices right there. Nope. Oh, what about right? Oh, yeah, right here. Here's your culprit. Look at all these. Just boatloads of vertices. We need to just collapse these bad boys. Collapse them all. There's just way too many of them. There probably is some more, but yeah, that's fine. Alright, now that we select this, yeah, it looks like we're much better now. We don't have all the different edges there. We should try to be able to cap this time. Yeah. And then let's go to Turbo Smooth and see if we've cleaned it up. No, it's still there. Let's see, why not? Why is it? It is way over there. That means that something is attaching itself. We'll turn off this so we can actually see what we're doing here. So it's basically going from, yeah, it's connecting itself all the way over there to a joint piece. Both of them, in fact. And I'm guessing it's because of, wow. Okay. Do we have extra vertices that were just lying around? I mean, this should not be done because these pieces have nowhere to go. They're just kind of floating limbo right now. And if you were cool, you would go in there and at least connect them, which we probably should. I hate to do all this, but let's see if we can do that. Let's at least get some of these pieces together. I get actually any of these? Are there's multiple? Nope, I got every one of them. Cut right through the bone. Right through the bone? And right now I'm just basically making little anchor points to pull these pieces so that they have some way of having some tension when the turbo smooth is activated, because everything wants to pull it apart. As far as turbo smooth, that's the whole purpose. It tries to separate everything, and by doing so it pulls things apart from each other, and that they add more and more faces to it. As a result, you can sometimes have some issues with separation anxiety. Alright, and then let's do the same thing here and see if this doesn't fix it. Way over there. It may, I don't know. I'm just making this up. Really need to get rid of these pieces here. So what we're going to do is just have one big happy family and see if we can't collapse it. Did we do it? Yeah, we did. It really doesn't need to have that many. Same for these. We could probably join a lot of these together, but screw it. Let's see what it looks like when it's turbo smooth now. Did we fix anything? Is it still looking good? Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. That looks terrible. But you know what? It's not going to matter because printing is not going to make any difference. It's going to look fine. Let's bring up this little edge here. I'm not really thrilled about this. Well, you gotta be kidding me. Oh. Let's try self-select real quick and see if we can't just bring it up just a smidgen. Turn that plastic thing off. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, it kind of messes up the levelness of the liquid, but it'll be fine. Let's just bring it in then. There. That'll give it more of the rigidness that I want. I think that's all that was the problem, was just needs to have more of a cusp. A cusp. Yeah. There we go. Uh-oh. What do we have here? A naughty piece. And what do we do with naughty pieces? We get rid of them, naturally. Because I quite honestly don't know where this is going. Oh. I can't see squat. Man, it's making me look like a drunk here. Let's go, guys. Alright. Same for this one. This is why I don't like having multiple pieces joined together, because then you get all this issue with trying to see inside here. You don't want any of this crap. None of these overhanging edges. We want them to be pretty much on top of each other. There we go. That's better. That's better. Alright, good enough. Alright. F4, yeah, that's fine. That's done. Okay. And then if we add the shell, we should theoretically have ourselves a good old time. I'm going to leave these pieces here, even though it doesn't really need to be. It seems like it's okay to have this connection here. It just strengthens that little piece between the two. And it's hollow anyway. The lid's going to be on top of it. Alright, so speaking of the lid, let's see the lid. And this is the thing with turbo smooth cranked up to 3, which is what we want. We want the turbo smooths to stay the same, because we want the number of polygons to roughly be about the same as it was when it was one piece. So this thing technically fits on top of it. There's a little bit of a gap here, which is going to suck, because that means it doesn't have any edges here, which is really kind of sucky. No. Yes, yes. And then get that minimized. Can we do chamfer? And then extra line, and then bring it in tight. And then see what happens there. Yeah, that's what I wanted. For some reason it removed all those pieces when I removed it, so unfortunately I've got to go in here and never enough. Whoa, it's never enough. And we will have to go in there and make sure that these things fit, because right now it does not fit at all very well. And it's going to be kind of tough to tell how it fits, because generally speaking I would make this thing a little wider. So just like this, we would make it like that one. So we would just not that much, like 104%, and then bring the blasted thing down and see how it fits once it hits hits this. And the thing is, I mean that part, I mean that's going to hit before that, so it's going to be like hitting like that, and you got to watch out for that, because then now you got a gap. So really we may have to get rid of that that piece. Yeah, there's another piece there that we'll have to worry about, because right now it's going to hit right there at an angle. See the complexity of having this? It's not the best thing in the world, but many things. Many things. Many things. This is a Mr. Rogers song, I think. And we can double click it, and then it just has this silly little turn that I have to deselect and select it again, but right there, but that's not that big a deal. And then just keep hitting your chamfer. Go around like a boss. Like a boss. We have gotten halfway through tonight's performance. Tonight's performance is brought to you by Novocaine. The drug that keeps on drugging. What is going on here? It looks like someone already snuck in and did something there. How does that look? Good enough to me. Yeah, I already did that one. So I did one of them and then got distracted, figures. That's good enough, though. Brought to you by Novocaine, the drug that teaches you to count backwards. How does this look? Yeah, those look nice. Those look nice and sharp. And those look sharp, more or less. We're good. Alright, let's worry about... Uh-oh. What do we have here? We got a clip foot here, buddy. It's because they don't go all the way down. That's why they stopped right there. We have to go in with the scalpel. And for some reason, this lags the living crap out of me whenever I do this. And it has to do with... I'm not really sure why either, because it's just here too. It won't let me even do that. That's weird. Can I do this? Yeah, I can do that. I don't want to do that though. Let's cut this and then cut it to half, and then move these pieces back. Oop. Along the edge. I don't want to screw it up even more than we already have. Okay, we got that side. And that's all we need to do. We just need to do that, and then it should be fine. Yeah, it's fine now. Okay. Why is it went back to where... Is that another one? It is. How many of these do I have that I did this to? Let's see, that I forgot to go all the way down. That one's fine. That one's fine. That one's not. That's frustrating. Oh, they even have... Shoot, there's even a piece waiting for me right there. It's almost like it might have been there. And then when I removed the piece, the rooftop, it caused that issue. You know, some of these I've got it on the side. This one I don't. It makes me want to think that I need to freaking do this one too. Good grief. Sometimes the behavior of this program. Oh, that side works. Okay. So got that, got that. That one's working. That one's working. That one's not. Again. Redonkulous. Redonkulous. Good enough. Seriously, they like all converted. They removed these pieces. There's no way I forgot all these It had to have removed those pieces here, because these were here to begin with. Let me go back on one of the videos and look, because I'm positive they were there. So I wouldn't have done the sides. See, this one doesn't even have the sides. This one doesn't even have the sides. Can I rainbow it? Yep. And all the way, sucker. Period. Does it go all the way? Yeah, it goes all the way. It goes all the way to the other side, too. Dadgummit. Like that. Connect. Bring it on back. Bring it on back. Yeah, of course you're not going to go up there. Of course you're going to go all the way up there, so I'm going to bring you all the way back. These guys need to do the same. Do the same. Do the same. Alright. Let this be the end of it. The end of it. What is the deal with these guys? That is some jacked up, drop it down 4x4 stuff. Let's see, can we just bring it on down? There's something wrong with that. How's it looking over here? It's fine. So why is this so goulashed? I mean, we could just go ahead and target this, can't we? I mean, what could possibly go wrong there? Oh, just everything. But, whatever. Alright, anything else? Any of the other... Good grief, this one didn't even have it. Oh, okay, that's fine there, but that one doesn't. They don't have the sides on it. Yeah, and check out what it looks like on the sides. Yeah, it has that little lip there, lip gloss. I mean, it's pretty tight, but could be tighter. 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 Ringo Starr, what is it? How are you? Ringo. Oh, that really looked terrible. None of that worked to what I was hoping. Dadgum autosave, come on. Okay. Never fails whenever there's an autosave. It's like right when I'm doing something. So it always causes me to undo. Like every single time it pretty much does. I don't think I've ever... Get that out of the way. I don't think I've ever not had to undo after an autosave. None of these work right. That's ridiculous. Alright, fine. Do it the hard way, which, you know, that's what the name of the game is tonight. Do everything as long as it takes. Nope. Didn't want you to go there. Didn't want you to go here. Let's go down. Right. This one is going to be tricky because it wants to go neither direction. Why is this even here? This should not even be a part of this piece here. It should be like way back here. Oh, okay. There you go. Let's do the same thing over here. And do the same thing on that. Because I don't know what it's there for. Probably something important. Alright. I don't think I'm doing any more of those. I think I've done enough for those. So now we got to go in here and figure out how we're going to get this thing to fit perfectly onto it. And first thing is going to be that there's like a block here. And originally I had this thing sitting up against that. But it seems like that may not be the case. Because these pieces are going to want to go down. So you set it on. Yeah, you set it down and it fits on the outer rim there, but yeah, you see all the pieces that are sitting there. It may be that we need to make it actually this opposite. See, I did it 96 is 4 less, so that makes it 100% what it was to begin with. And then move it up. And yeah, see that gap that it makes? I mean, theoretically it's fine because I don't think anybody's going to really pay too much attention, but stuff like this, that means it's going to go into it, so you got to work on that. So first of all, I think this needs to be sharper. Yeah, it does, because there's nothing up here. It needs to, oh my goodness, well, look at all this ugliness. Who did this? Look at that. Look at this. Atrocious. Atrocious. Always something in there. Always something. I definitely don't want that piece there. I want it to go on. There we go. I think this thing's going to be a problem here. This piece here, as much as I like it there, I think it's going to be a big issue. And just really the top piece here. It really has no bearing on the bottom piece down there, and they can remain. These pieces there. But I think this has to all go. So it's gone. And then that way we can move this piece down a smidge. and then basically we can what do we do? So bring that out a little bit. Oh, for crap, I can't see. Bring that out a tad. Hold down shift and bring it out. Go back to your vertice, go to your target weld, and bring these in just a little bit. Needs to be some target welding here too. Oh, I guess it shouldn't have targeted weld. I should have brought all those pieces. This one too, I forgot the little baby one. There. That's better. Alright. And now we... Why does it act like I've got more? I guess not. Zoomed out. Got that. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Just even her out, trimming her up, making her look pretty. Something like that. And then just to make sure I got everything flat, I need to get these flat. Something like that. Good enough. Alright, now let's tighten this thing up, the thing we were trying to do to begin with. I did not select it. It selected way across the other side. That's exactly what I was looking for. Hit your ring. It only went to there. Hit your ring again. Oh. Hit your ring again. There you go. And then one last time. Let's see. Alright. And we already got this lip taken care of. It's nice and tight. It's just this area right here. So let's start with this. Get ourselves a nice constraint going so that we can move it right up the, well, click on OK. And then go right up to the edge and then bring it back down. Get it as close as you possibly can without it touching, because we need it nice and tight on there. And then on this one, we want to connect the thing. So we're going to cut. And then cut again. Move back to the vertices, tighten this thing up a little bit, and we're good. Check the other side, same thing. For some reason, I didn't go all the way. I didn't check it well enough. Screwed up there, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay, we'll do connect. It doesn't want to go, so that's fine. We'll just move it up as we are, and then just move it, bring it back down. And then you just have to cut these two pieces together. Make sure your snaps are on so you got that piece. and then target weld on your vertices. Target this one so that it's anchored up there, so that you don't have any loose vertices that don't have any place to go. And now it should be it has a lot tighter lip to it. See that? It has a nice tight lip to it. This is still just absolutely disaster though. I really need to get rid of that, because that's just going to be nothing but overhang. I could have sworn I fixed this. Am I on the right version? Because it sure looks like it's not. So I'm pretty sure I fixed all this stuff up the other day. Thought I fixed all this up already. Good enough. Alright. So now let's unhide all so we get the hood back. And at this point, we're going to drop down and switch back and forth until we get this thing looking good. So I want it to, I'm going to go about right here. And going to basically go around and check what needs to be moved. And we're just going to, as long as there's like a little bit of a gap everywhere, just a tad bit, we should be okay with it coming down, and it'll just fit wherever the chips may fall. I just don't want anything going inside right now. I want there to be a little bit of a gap everywhere. On the top, there's just a tad bit gap there. Make sure that it's not going through. That's pretty close. It's a gap, but that's pretty close. We may want to change that one real quick, so we'll do that. So we'll just hit F3 and select just these pieces here, and all we're doing is just moving it up just a tad. Take off our control and just move them up just a tad so we can actually see them. This one actually does go through the wall, so we do want to make sure this one is adjusted. In both directions. That's this piece right here that's giving the problems. So we'll try to fix this once we have an autosave done. That's basically all you got to do. Just bring it on in closer to that. Yeah. I'm gonna bring these two pieces up so it can sit a little bit better. This one definitely is going to go up. This piece here needs to go up. That's quite a gap right there. So on this case, you may want to consider bringing it down a little bit. Bringing this down a little bit. Let's see what the well, I thought I had it turned on. Okay. You can see there. Everything's fine there now. That's a little bit too much of a gap. So let's see if we can't move this down a bit. And yeah, we're moving it into in that case because, check this out. See how it brings it up? We just did a little too far. And there it goes. See how that, is there a gap? Yeah. Just pulls it down just enough so that it fits above it. Same for these. I think all of these actually need to go up. Yeah. Maybe not that one over there, but these definitely do. And we just continue around. Nope, we missed one. Here's a good one right here. Needs to go up. So we take it up. Something like that. We're all thrilled about this one being so high, so we're going to bring this down. And keep checking. One cool thing you can do, if you know you already have the vertices selected, you can turn on Turbo Smooth and move just the piece that's in question. In other words, you can turn it off and you select like this piece right here. It needs to go up. And you turn on your Turbo Smooth with you selecting the piece there. And it actually shows how it fits there, because you're actually selecting this piece here, which is non-existent. But if you turn off Turbo Smooth, it is. It's there. It's kind of cool. And it affects what you do. So you can actually move it so that you know what it's going to look like when you have Turbo Smooth turned on. Very similar to this one. So we turn Turbo Smooth on and we move it. We're not actually moving all those vertices. We're moving just the few that are affecting all the other ones. If we turn it off, those are the ones we're moving, not these. But they're linked together. It's a common enemy. The same thing with this one. Turn on Turbo Smooth and do it that way. Why didn't you do this earlier in the first of them? Because I just remembered of the 4,000 things in this program. I just remembered that. I'm also having to learn Maya while I'm trying to maintain all of my knowledge that I know so far with Max, which is about 15 years or so of using this program. And it has been very challenging to pick up not just Maya, but understanding what I need to do in Max and remembering all that stuff. A lot of the stuff I'm crossing wires because the different operations, procedures, they're the same, but they have different commands and whatnot. So it's always a bit of a headache. That really needs to be tied in. That does not have, this does not have much of a tightness. And as a result, it seems like the thing is really wanting, yeah, that's, gotta fix that. Gotta fix that. Gotta fix that. Yeah, it's not even. It's one of these that didn't get touched. And just chamfer the thing, make it easy. Yeah, should do it. Yeah, that's a lot better now. It's a lot better now. Have we made it all the way around? It looks like we have. Yeah, I think we have. Because that's where we started, yeah. Alright. So basically that is good to go. So now we go to isolate and turn off turbo smooth, and we're going to try to add a shell modifier like we do with the base to give it some thickness, because it is going to be the top piece, and there's going to be all kinds of ugliness because of it. I don't want it to go, I want it to go inward. And that just is awful how it does that. That may not print very well. That may not print at all. Who knows? Because there's going to be pieces that are crossing each other. Look how ugly that is. And that's why I don't like shell. Shell does not... It works when you have simple models, but when you have complicated models like this, it's really tough to get it. So a better way of doing it, so that I don't have all, because you're still going to have tons of support if you leave this hollow. So we're going to make it, we're going to actually make this thing solid. We're going to make the base is going to be hollow because there's no support needed for the top. But because there's going to be so much top here, so we're going to go in here, add another modifier, go to border. I doubt this is going to work, but we never know. And I'm going to, there's no way the cap's going to work on that. That looks absolutely atrocious. That may not work. Oh, it looks like Firefly. Kind of dilapidated, but no, not really. But yeah, that's basically, it won't print like that. It's going to print like that. And what I really wanted to do was to have it, you know, let's not do that. Let's see if we can't make it a lot better. Let's go to Edge, hold down Shift, and see if we can't bring the pieces inward. And now the thing is, I really don't want these pieces here. No, I definitely don't want that, because that's where they're sitting on the angle there. I don't want to screw up that angle, because the slope of the house is right there. I basically want like a center piece that kind of fills this whole hole in there. Let me see here how in the world I'm going to do this. while I stare into oblivion. I could cap these pieces here, just the square here, right here, and then the rest of the piece along this line here gets pulled inward. That's probably the way to do it. So I'm going to have to go to the top view and deselect all this. I did it wrong. Deselect all that, just those pieces there. I don't want the tabs, but I want everything else. Yeah, something like that. And same for these guys too. I don't want these. I just want the main pieces that are, yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Now, what we'll do is do the same thing. And if we can extrude those things inward. I doubt we can, but let's see. No, that looks awful. Can we? No, we can't bridge. Yeah, this is about the only. I wish this thing would let me go in the middle. Oh yeah, that's awful. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Do I have to do them like one at a time? So I don't, because I want them to go this way, but I don't want them to go all that direction. I want them to come over here too. I don't want them to do that either. Why? I want them to all come in, not out, in. Bring them up like this, and then make these completely flat. Yeah, and not that way. Let's make them upside down right now. I understand. It's like this. Yeah, and then I'm going to make these I think like that. Did that actually work? Is that a one vertex? It is. And it's down there, it's like two vertices, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's basically how it's going to be. And then I will, once I fill those up, then I will take these pieces and bring them all inside. And connect these pieces together so it's all one, and then bring it inside. Yeah, that'll be the way to do it. Man, that's going to be tedious though. I hate tedious. But it's the law of the West. That didn't work right. Pretty sure I can cheat here and move this right there. Boom. Yeah, that worked fine. And I have no idea what in the world is going on over here. but it looks to be fine as long as I don't touch it. Okay, so moving on to this ridiculous things, the feats I go through, the stunts I pull in order to get a good model so you can play a game is staggering. There is no end to where I will go for you, even if it means doing this tedious work live online. And of course I have like, 15 of these things I gotta do. There's another one I forgot to do. I only did the front and not the sides. Oh well. That's how it happens. Not sure what the hell that's in. What's that all about? That looks like it's that looks like a lot of these are extended. I think we do the bottom one. Yeah. Just do the bottom one. We just join the gaps. We don't worry about, don't worry about the top one. Hello from London, everyone. Good job over there. Welcome. Londoner is in the chat. Hidden, but in the chat. That one. Yeah. Okay. So we're getting there. Or did we get there? Did we go all the way? Did we go all the way? No, we got a couple more. Got these two over here. Not a problem, governor. That's a terrible accent. I tried my best, though. And when you try your best, you cannot be wrong. And if you believe that, you're crazy. Alright, and then do the same thing for these bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? They chuck it in the mother, they chuck it in the father, they chuck it in the sister, and they chuck it in the brother. Yeah, before we go anywhere, we're going to have to cut this bad boy apart so that we have some kind of well, hello. Are we going to cut this or not? I really would like to segment this. Is there a reverse button? I can't remember that. It's this one. What the crap was that button? Is it this? It's under edge? Oh, you know what? I think it's a spline thing. I think it's a spline thing. Is there a flip? Flipadelphia? I don't see it. Yeah, it's not wanting me to cut these things. Especially this one. So we're going to get rid of it. Get rid of it. And we're going to just do this. Very slow, very tedious. And do the same thing over here. And then to this one, the coup de grace. A terrible mismatch, but we were going to clean it up. Hey, look at that. It actually allowed me to do that. I'll be dang. Who would have thought? Let's weld some vertices, shall we? Okay, and then move these pieces back. Yeah, that may be an issue because this is so far. Yeah, this may not fit. We gotta check this real quick. Because we moved those pieces right there. Where are we? Okay, we're here. And we should be inside here. Right here is where we're looking. And that's what I was afraid of. It cuts right into that because we've added pieces to it that should not have been there. Crap. Crap, 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 crap. Do something like that. A little bit of a gap there. How does it look with that? It has this crazy piece now that goes down into that, but I swear we're going to fix that, so I think we'll be okay. I think. So this one we can go in and we can go back to isolate so I can actually see what I'm doing. We can go back in here and get this down to where it's actually pretty. Am I pretty? If I were not married, I would take you in a manly fashion. A manly way. Manly fashion? Manly way. One of the two. It's been too many years since I've watched Firefly. Actually, that's a lie. I watched it just a couple of days ago. But I have not got to that point yet. Alright, so now we can just copy this over to the element. If you want to rotate this, you can a little bit. And then now we just basically weld some vertices. That way we don't have to go through all that craziness again. It's easier to weld than to rebuild. And for this, you want to not target weld. You just want to snap it to a Slim Jim first. And then weld. That way you keep that top piece where you want it to be. The rest of this stuff is okay to target weld. Like that. And the idea is that we are going to pull down from here. I think this is going to work. God, I hope it does, because that would really be awesome. Alright, turn off my dadgum snaps. Let's get in the way. We're going to clamp all these, and what is going to happen is that I'm going to go to the top view, and I'm going to try to bring them in, but it won't work. So I'm just going to shift drag them, and then bring them on down, even farther than the other one. And I will go in and start target welding these bad boys together, just as close as I can get them to where they need to be. I think it's the inside pieces here. I think it's only downside. I will probably, yeah, it's probably better just to collapse these things instead of having them come down like that. Just collapse them. Let's see. Yeah, that's basically how we're going to do this. And so I'm just going to go in here and target weld. Target weld. I don't think I can actually do anything other than, oh, I gotta be careful on this. Let me move back here to this one. And maybe it's better, safer to not target weld, but to snap it to a Slim Jim. Yeah, and then do it that way. And that way you get your weld, yeah, and you collapse. Yeah, there we go. That's how it's done. Bring all these, you have to bring them all so far down. I keep going over here where I started. And then just snappity-doo-dah to the inside piece. Yeah, see, it doesn't want to snap. Is there two pieces there? No. Don't want to snap to it for some reason. Now it does, if I target weld it, yeah. Alright, so sometimes you gotta go both ways. And then we collapse, move on. And that's how it's going to be done. And the nice thing is, once we get this done, we can bring it in, we can shrink it down, bring it in, and it'll be like a nice little inner core that'll give the roof a little bit of weight. And have a nice little center piece that it just kind of slides right into the main chamber. You get a better mouse one of these days. Yeah, you could actually target to the other pieces too, so you got to be careful that you know what you're doing. Autosave, autosave. Okay, continuing around the clock. My goodness, do we have enough pieces here? That was that nasty one up there, isn't it? Yeah, that was a Gilgamesh. We don't like those. Let's see if we can bring that one out a little bit, because it, wow, that is really ugly in there. I really need to clean this up right here somehow. Don't like when vertices are inside polygons. You got bad days when that happens. Yeah. And then there's one this one's going down somewhere into the ravine there. Not sure where any of this is going now. Why is it? It's all separated. And you gotta keep them separated. I had to say at least one time every night. Man, that is ugly. What in the world is going on here? This is atrocious. And it shouldn't be at all. What is that? That is a piece there. I feel that we need to weld some vertices because there's just too many pieces going around here that need to be eliminated. Yeah, because that looks ridiculous. Shouldn't even be there. Holy crap! Where did it? Oh, what happened there? There was like a gigantic hole right there. There is a huge hole. Did it go down? Oh, I bet you it's down here. I bet you it's down here somewhere. That's, well, no, that's down. Oh my gosh, there is so much crap here. What a way to finish the evening is having catastrophic failures of this proportion. I mean, it's not even one piece. There are like multiple pieces here. Look how terrible that is. I mean, that's really just as bad as you can get it. So we're gonna start down here, I guess. And jeez, I just want like it's not even a hole. I just want the two pieces there, and I want two pieces there, and then like those two pieces. I want all these gone. Why did it do this? I don't know. I still need to get rid of this one. Yeah. So there, that's how it should be down here. But my gosh, look at the amount of vertices up here. And all we're needing is a couple of them. There's got to be some kind of a big, yeah, this is the issue, I think, right here. And I am not sure where to begin. So let's just see what happens. I mean, what is... Are these all the way... These just going down into the hole here? Into the rabbit hole? It sure does. That means that we're really close to just destroying this piece here. And get rid of all these little knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bones. All these little sillinesses. And as well as that. Yeah, there we go. We're starting to actually see a little bit more. Don't be afraid to destroy stuff. It's your creation, but you can destroy it just as easily as you make it. And quite honestly, it's easy to build stuff back. It's not that difficult. You just got to use the tools. So for here, we're just going to start making polys again. So instead of it just that ridiculous piece, we're going to make it a nice square like it should be. And this piece, a nice square like it should be. That's all these should be right here. Yep, another one right here. And then another one right here. Very simple. And then we don't have anything down below, but we will we'll make it. We'll make it. Make it. Make it. I'm a veg, Danny. Alright. And we weld this one. And now we've got a little area we can build our last polygon. Because we've got it ready to go. Boom, boom, boom. Way down there, way up there, right back to where we were. And we sealed it. And then we just make sure that we've got everything lined up all right. And the only thing we don't have is this thing sticking out. I think it needs to stick out. I think this needs to come outward. That may have been one of the issues, was that piece there. And it just, these are not working very well. That looks like it was part of the issue. But it's a lot better than what it was. So I'm okay with that. Holy crap, it blew way past 8 o'clock. I really want to get this done, so we're going to push on. If you are needing to get some dinner or something like that, feel free to go take a break. And we'll still be here, and we're not going anywhere. I'm going to finish the lid up here so that it's ready for print, because I want to get this thing test printed on Friday. And so feel free, go get you a beverage, bathroom break, whatever you need, and come right on back, and you'll see what we can get this thing done here tonight. I don't think this is going to take very long. So we're at the very last stages of this piece, and I feel that this is going to print just fine. There'll be a little bit of a nuance about it, but I think it'll be okay. It'll print a heck of a lot quicker than it was going to print. 24 hours worth of print time. Originally, this thing was printing at 53 hours because I had made it hollow. And that was just a mistake. You know what's really scary? Yeah. Yeah. That right there takes both stupidity and guts. I went over 2 hours without saving. Of course, I do have autosave. It saves every 15 minutes, so it's not that big a deal. I'm not too worried about it. But you always need a save. Alright. On this inside piece, how are we looking? Okay. So that's going to work. That'll work. These need to do the same thing. I'm just going to do this instead. And just bring them up. Bring them up like there. Oop. Expert mode. The scariest thing in the world is expert mode. You hit Control X, and it turns off everything. And I don't think anybody really likes to work in expert mode. If you do, you're a gladiator, and I salute you, because it is the most intimidating thing, knowing that you have no comfort. You have all your safety blankets are turned off. I want to I need to have at least those three selected to maintain that, and then have these three selected to maintain that, and then just weld these pieces here, and then bring it up one more time. And do the same thing. Grab these pieces, these three, and select them right there. Might as well weld them while I'm here. And then do the same thing over here. Snap it, lock it, and then we're going to have to adjust this a tad bit once we get that back onto the hut, just to make sure that it fits and everything. We'll do this last one first, and then we'll go to that. And we'll just do both of them there. And that one. Okay. So we got all those pieces, and before we extrude that thing, those down, we need to adjust them so they fit to this, because we've added some pieces here, and we just don't know if they fit or not, and I'm always worried about it. We probably need to turn turbo smooth on. I'm not going to worry about the edges so far. I just want to mainly talking about these pieces, the main piece right there, and it may not be able to work because where the crap am I? Okay, there I am. Because it's going to get pulled, they're going to get pulled down. So we're just going to do that later. So back to isolation mode. And now we need to do the same thing on this little tower thing that we did earlier, by selecting all these and holding down shift and bringing them all down. And it doesn't matter where, just bring them in a general area. Do the same thing. We're just selecting, oops, I think I screwed that up. Let me double check. That one, oh, these don't have any pieces. These pieces right there. Yeah, I need to back this up a little bit. And I do need to have these segments yeah, it's important to keep all your segment pieces the same throughout. That way all your pieces are lined up somewhat. Alright, now we go in, oops, now we go in here and grab all these and hold down shift. Just turn off your constraints and hold down shift and drop it on down, drop it on down. I'll go a little bit farther just so I can see everything. Same thing here, I kind of screwed up that. I'm not really paying much, I'm not doing very well tonight. And it's a lack of sleep. That's my excuse for tonight. Missed about an hour and a half worth of sleep last night. So I'm a little bit run down. So I apologize that the evening tonight, I don't quite have the energy that I did usually, but we will get back at it on Monday and go crazy. And I mean crazy, insane. Crazy, insane, insane, crazy. Used to have this girlfriend, and she broke my heart in two. Mm-hmm. I was crazy insane in love with her. Crazy? Crazy insane? That's from Weird Science. When the kids are drunk. Alright. Alright. Same thing goes for this one. Probably want to just do snap it to Snib Jim first. To the outer one. And make sure that these aren't... Yeah, we're good. Weld. Weld. Yep. I suggest bringing all of them together to at least one of them. That way you keep them all consistent on that curvature. Because you're going to have some... And may grab like a couple of them before you snap into the next one. If I can get that thing to snap right. There we go. You just want to keep them all consistent as best you can. Where are you at? You're way over there. Okay. Alright. That's the last one anyway. Told you it's not going to take very long. I told you it's not going to take very long. You didn't listen to me. Why didn't you believe me? I'll teach you to believe me. I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Alright, now we're going to bring these pieces together so that they are in holy matrimony. I just want the clusters. Don't care about anything else. Ooh, that one's pretty ugly. Alright, so now I got them all taken care of, and it's looking a lot cleaner now. So assuming, and see how the pieces are still overhanging, and that's good because we want that to sit right on that. But now we want all this piece, the center piece, now that we've got it, it's more controlling, and we can bring it inward a little bit, center it up a little bit, and actually bring it to, well, to wherever we really want, but we're going to bring it up to pretty much flat. And then I'm going to select the border again, go back to my edge, and bring it down and in. But not too far, because again, the whole point is to keep this thing low. But you know that the pieces, the ledges here, are going to have to. Oops, we got some weirdness going on there. There. Let's get this fixed a little bit here. Ah, there's some shenanigans going on right here. Let's find out what this is all about. Where are you? Oh, there you are. You're right there. That means that there is probably a vertice right here that is not cooperating. Right there. Right there. Nope. Maybe right up here. Yep, that's where it is. And it's gone. Yeah, whenever you see that border shoot up like that, it should be consistent, and it should be clean like that going around the edges. If it shoots up into the model itself, you know that you've got 2 vertices right next to each other. So I want these to be above the bottom of these rafter, because these are going to be the base of the print. It's just how it's going to be. I don't want the height between this part and this part to be any more than that. That way, the minimum amount of supports. It's still going to be a ton of supports, but I just don't want any more plastic being used. So it can be as much as I want or as thin. So I'm going to actually bring it up. Well, that's all going to be support if I bring it up like that. We'll keep it like that. And maybe I do. Maybe I want to bring this back out a little bit. We'll see how it fits on there, because I'm kind of worried that the tower itself, or this part, is going to have to come in, because this is where I want it to come in through the center over here. But over here it's being pulled because I'm doing most of the work over on this area. So it's averaging over into the center part over here, causing this to be pulled over. And I don't want that. I want this to stay over in that area. So we may bring this back down. And now that we have that in the right spot, bring this back. Like right there. That's better. That's better. And then we can bring it right back up to where we were. And fits considerably better. Like that. And then I wanted to bring it in again. Too bad I couldn't extrude these in. There's no way I can extrude it in, can I? Nope, it does not want to do that. It's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Hold down Shift to bring it in. And don't be afraid to bring this back down. Get it out of the way. Make sure you're flattened. Make sure you hit your Z just to make sure everything's plane on the same plane. And then get it again. You can bring it back up, and this time I want to bring it down just a tad bit. So it's going to have like this little lip here. You see that? It goes up in there, hits this lip, and then comes back down. And then you cap that. And the way that happens now, even though it doesn't really do that over here, not so much though, but it gives it a little bit of grace for that whole. I mean, it could be anywhere. The hut can now hit anywhere from here to here, and you're hoping that, you know, somewhere around there it fits and it actually works out all right. But yeah, that's the only downside, is those ledges is going to be pieced together like that. Now, if I wanted to, I could go in and flatten these pieces so that they are actually horizontal, and instead of butting against the house, which is what you want it to look like, you can actually make it come outward like this, like flat, and that would greatly reduce, because this whole thing then would be flattened, and it would be, instead of having all these pieces down here, the whole bottom would be right about there. This thing is still going to have support because it goes up. There's nothing you can do about that. Let's go around one more time just to make sure. Because, yeah, that's what I was worried about. There's a big gaping hole now there. That wasn't. But everything else looks like there's a slight hole to it. And we'll just expand the size just a tad bit. And that will give it the grace period, the little grace that it needs to sit down on it. And there'll be like a little bit of a gap between the two of the joists here and the house, but that's okay. It won't be that big of a deal, because this is all right here kind of, it's all kind of fuddy-diddy. So let's do that right now. Let's get back to this, and we're going to move it out about 106, so about 6% or 6 pieces bigger. And now it just sits, see how where it sits. Because we're going to be going to see it right here. Oops. Yeah. Ooh, that looks ugly. What did we do here? What did we do here? We have vertices that are isolated. There's probably way more than 6. Yeah, there's like 10. Can I just weld them all? Yeah. What about here? A whole bunch. Just weld them all. Yeah, that's better. But now it sits comfortably on well, it's close enough, but it sits about there on the top of the building. And there's a little bit of a gap between the ledges now. But again, you're not going to be looking down underneath there. You're looking from here from an angle, and that's good enough. It fits comfortably on there like a lid, and that's where you're looking for. So this is the stuff that you just got to watch out for, because you don't want this stuff to be interfering with it. So just bring it up so that it's not running into anything, and then you'll be fine. Yeah, we'll have to fix that a little bit here. The tower is going to be the biggest issue, but I think everything else is going to be fine. And if you want to, you can actually move some of these pieces. Now that we know that it'll be around there, you can tighten them up a little bit if you want, if they're too far away from you. But really, they're going to be good to go right there. This piece doesn't rub into that, so that's good. That piece doesn't rub in. Yep, there's a gap there. Gap there. So yeah, we're good. So now just the tower, this little tower segment and the connection is all you need that's left. And yeah, there's a little bit of work that needs to be done here because of this little piece here. This segment here, because it's not like this where it went up and went in. So we need to do something very similar to that. So we can get rid of this for now. And we are going to do very similar to what we did over there. We're going to take these and hopefully get most of them. Yeah, just about all of them. Yeah, I think that's enough. We're going to go up. And we're going to go back. And we're going to go up again. Just like the main piece. May have to bring it in a little bit just because of the way of the narrowness right there, and that's fine. You're just mainly wanting to have that little crest up like that. So I can see this better. This actually, I take that back. This needs to go down. It's this piece here that needed to go up. It's that area. It's this section right here. I'll grab all that and then deselect the pieces that we didn't need. Let's see. It's all the middle section. Yeah, and then all this stuff should have gone upwards. That should have gone up like that. Like there. Yeah. And now we can grab this section here and do whatever we want with it. We can pull it out a little bit so it's not quite as windy. Yeah, now that should fit better. Now you've got another cusp right here. It's kind of the lid area. See what the see what this thing looks like. Looks like total crap. Awesome. All right, that's fine. We can fix all that and more. So basically, we're going to just take the entire piece here. All of this is in the entire enchilada. A little bit is better than nada. Sometimes you want the whole enchilada. And now that we've got that, hit F3 or F4 rather, so I can actually see what I'm doing. And now that we got all the side piece here, we turn on this turbo smooth, but we still have our vertices selected. On the edit poly down here, we have this selected, so that we just move and see how this thing fits. I'm gonna turn off. Move this around a little bit. Is there any gap there? There. See, now there's a little bit of a gap there. And we could probably finagle this just a tad bit so that it goes down. Yeah, so it'll actually sit right there. That's close. Now we can go in here and do a little bit of finagling on the side piece here. This is that infamous piece that keeps giving us little issues. Like that. And do the same thing right here with that little piece here. And then that should be fine. Oh, no, that's actually just fine. It's off that piece, and this needs to just come out. Just this one piece needs to come out a little bit. And then come down a little bit. So it'll fit. And then this piece will be a resting spot. So we need to make sure that it rests well. Like that. It's a little bit of a gap. We don't want to see things right there, so we want a little bit of a gap there. But not too much of a gap, because I don't want that much. This little guy, oh, there he is. Okay, I was like, there's got to be another piece there that's going to help with this. There. There. And then we move that last piece. This one, just that. And move that up a bit so it comes off of her. Yep. And now we look at the rest. Okay. A little bit of a clearance there. Not much of one, but it is a clearance. And I'm not seeing anything coming through. It's tight and it's close, but it looks like there's a gap, which is good. You just want some kind of a gap. Nope, nope, this place starts to right here. So we want to go to vertice and choose these pieces here, which affect this little piece, and we just move it up until we can't see it anymore. Do the same thing for here, and just make it come up a little bit. That way it's same thing for this. Just turn it off. You're talking about these pieces here. I have to do with it. Let's grab that one too. Turn back on and just move it up, move it inward. That way, as soon as they disappear, you know that they're cleared. Just like this. This one isn't cleared, so we're going to have to clear it. And there's more to it, yep. You can see the piece right there. There you go. Disappears. And we should be on the clear. Go around one once more. Nothing's coming through. Clear as mud. Alright, that's it. That seems like that's a good enough piece. We'll save it real quick. And then we're going to save it as a separate file because we're going to move things around. And we'll get this ready for print. And the way I do this, I just move the piece over there and turn on my grid, and I kind of eyeball this and rotate them to where I feel like they're going to fit right, but it doesn't matter. It's right on the grid point. These are going to be separate prints. They're not. There's no way that the two of them can print together. So that's just how it's going to be. It's important to make the anchor points on all the pieces to be just right on the base. Right there. And in the center. And the reason is because you want to right click that 0, the Z axis, so that it's the lowest point that it can happen to be is on there. So you still see all those teeth. That's going to cause some issues with support, but it's not going to be near as bad as what it was going to be if you had put this all together as one piece. So now this has a fighting chance, if you will, to get out. The hut is the same way, but I can see some pieces that aren't flat. So we need to turn off everything real quick, grab everything on the base, make it Z, and then clear it to 0 so that it is on the 0 axis on the X. And that right there is not what you want. You don't want any of that because that's going to cause some issues. So when in doubt, I sometimes will go to border because right now it's kind of hogwashed, and I will extrude downward a little bit so that you have a little bit of piece, and then I will just ever so slightly extrude outward, and I can usually get away with that. And sometimes this pieces here are kind of stupid, but it shows you where the errors were, and it's no big deal. You just weld this crap together so that it's all sanctified. That's good enough. Now I had already gone in there and put these pieces all around on the extra, and quite frankly, it's not necessary now because I'm extruded it on down. But it does make some common sense to go ahead and try to weld these pieces together, because you don't need it. So I'm going, and then I'm just going to go take a quick look. So we're going to weld the adjustments, and we're going to move that up until we see pretty much all of them go away. This is a threshold, so the farther distance you add, the farther the gap of the vertices can be and still be welded. Go in here and fix this. Definitely don't want that kind of overhang. Just touching up right now. All right, that looks pretty good. That's good enough. It's got a weird piece there, but that's all right. It's a water drainage, I guess. This area did not fuse together, so I'm going to weld these real quick. Make sure that one did. All right. So now that I got that, now I have a base that is separate, and I assure that it's completely flat, and I move it just a smidgen above the 0 axis, and now I clear this out, and I should theoretically have a completely flat surface. There's some roundedness as the pieces go there, because I did not add that extra line. I need to do that actually, so let's do that. Let's see if I can't get this ring. Goes all the way around, goes all the way around. It should go all the way around very easily, yeah, because I extruded it. It makes it real easy. And then we will connect and move it on down and get it really close, because that's going to make the bottom sharp. You can even do it again if you want to, just to add a little more to it. It's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. And then that shell, did you see what happened? That shell does a little bit of work to it. So now you're going to have a little bit of a lip there, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. There is an issue maybe right here, but again, it's overhang. Is that the shell? No. Oh, that's just a piece there. Yeah, that just needs to come out. That just needs to be welded, and then this needs to just come on out and say hi. Yeah, there we go. So now that you've got it all flat, and you've got the shell on, now you go in there with your anchor, knowing that it's going to be flat surface. You go with that Y position minimum pivot point. That way it's absolutely on the bottom, and it's not right here, because it doesn't look like it's flat. It looks like some pieces there have caused some issues there, and it's mostly because of that shell, which is intriguing because it shouldn't have caused that much of a issue. Right there. That's part of it right there. There's a horrible problem right here. Let's see what this doctor is. We've got issues. It just needs to be, I don't know what the crap that is. It looks awful. There are a whole bunch of, there's just several vertices right there that don't need to be doing that. I don't know why it's there, but we're going to just target weld all of them. There. And that should clear that up. Nope, it definitely did not. Because it looks like there may be other pieces that are... Yeah, there's extra pieces here. I don't know why there's... What is with this segment here? This is, oh, yeah. There's 2 pieces there. And it's not letting me collapse it either. Is there one piece over here? Yes. Oh, there's all kinds of weirdness going on here. I don't know what this is. Something wrong here. There's some weird stuff. Some definite weird juju. It's not even attached. It still doesn't even want to be attached. This is not good. Oh, there's like a whole bunch of pieces here. Okay, well, this is... I'm not really sure why it did this, but it sure did. And it's fixable. Man, this thing is all squeaky now. My mouse. We're almost at the 9 o'clock hour. I appreciate you guys sticking around. I thought we were pretty much done, which we were, but there's always little things that you can do to keep things nice and clean, and it'll just help you in the future when you're trying to print this thing off. Alright, let's just, very simple, make, didn't get that one. Put the piece back. It did not form. That's interesting. Undo commit. Undo create polygon. So does that mean that this is not... Yeah, it's... I just not do it right? Oh, there it is. It's very simple. Just had to cap it. Nope. It's still wanting to do that. There's something's going on here. What is going on? It feels like there's like more than one. Yeah, there's 4 edges right there. Okay. Are there 3 buttons over there? There's 9 vertices right there. Okay, well, there's one of the reasons. Let's turn this back a little bit. I don't want all 3 of those joined, but I just want... There's 7 now. 2 right there. It's not wanting to let me... And 2 right there. And 3 right there. Now it's down to 2. Oh, bless its heart. There's probably 2 polys there. Nope. 2 there. Nope. But there's edges. Yeah, there's like 7 edges right here. 3 edges. That's part of the problem. There's still 3 edges. There's got to be multiple polys right there, and it says it's not. There's 2 right there, so we're going to get rid of some of these unnecessary, the ones that... Oh, is that all I needed? Is that... That's... I got 2 there. I'm down to these 2. Aha. I got 2 edges there. 3 edges. Get rid of one of them. Not that one. Not that one. Come on. Aha! Got it. You just have to keep at it. Whew, that's dumb. sometimes this thing becomes just flat out stupid. And did we fix it? We did. It's nice and pretty now. All right, so back to what we were talking about. Making sure that this thing is completely flat. I don't see flatness because we have those three. Yeah, everything's nice and even. So when we put the shell on, yeah, that piece is coming down too far. And that's what's really causing the fact that it's not flat right now. Because everything else looks like it's fine. So, you can go in here and you can actually make an edit, poly, and select this one, and then go to loop and hope that it selects everything, which it looks like it did. And for this, you can actually do it one up. You can go here, select the 1.9, and that's the height that this one is on the z-axis, and then go to loop, hit your z, and then go to type it in the same amount, and now it is flat, but the other pieces are the same as well, so you need to do it to all of them, all these pieces down the bottom, because they all need to be flattened. Just make sure you loop and get every one of them. I know that I've got them all, so that's fine. So now I've got them all flat right there. At least I thought I did. Why are they not flat? I got one. Nope. Nope, they are not. So I did not have them flat to begin with. So loop Z. There you go. Now they're all loop it. Hit your Z planar so it's now flat. Now if we look at the flat, it's still loop. We need to get that to Z, and then 9, and then do the same thing for the rest of them. Loop Z 9, loop Z 9, and we gotta, oops, we gotta make sure that we did this right, and we did not, but that's okay, because this is the piece that we can actually move back up, because this is not a part of the, it's just part of the tightening. Yeah, that part, that's fine. But now everything is nice and level, so that's important. So when you throw on the turbo smooth, and when we go to our effect and we try to see how it moved up, now it's snapped right on the bottom of that piece, and now we can go ahead and zero that thing out. That's important, because if you've got a little bit of unevenness, it's gonna start printing that piece first before it prints everything else, and you'll have this weird uneven base to it, and it's not gonna be flat. But this should print out okay. I mean, it's gonna have support here. And you just leave it in here. That's the nice thing about it, because the support is going to be inside the building. So any support you see in here, you just leave it in there, because the lid's going to be on top of it. So who cares about cleaning that thing up? You just leave it all in there. So that's ready to go. So the first thing we do in select is I have this thing set to 0, 0, 0, 0. We go to export. We choose STL. With 3D Studio Max and Maya, STL, the stereolitho, should be a default file format. It should be pretty much ready to go. I'm going to do Witch Hut here. I'll put new, because that determines the other one. Witch Hut new. And I really should have called it like body, and that's fine. We'll do the other one with hat. Everything is flat on that, so we're good there. We could flatten all these pieces up, but they have to be unfortunately unique based upon how they fit on the building. So it's going to have to be like that. All right, which hut new lid? I want to put it on the. I want to put it on there because I'm roof. That's better. Which hut roof? And then, if I can get my splicing tool opened up, I usually run this through another program first, and it's like Mesh Maker, I think is the name of it, and it does a nice little check on your errors and things like that. Make sure that you have, a solid object. But for this purpose, I'm just going to load up this instead. This program is getting to be good enough to be competitive with other slicer programs, in my opinion. It's still got some issues to it, and can be improved and will be improved upon, but for now it's actually just fine where it is. This, I like it because it's made by the company that makes my printer. So it automatically knows the printer settings and things like that, and I'm able to work with it pretty well. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know enough that I can get this thing printed. So now we can actually see the first piece. It looks pretty good so far, but we haven't done any slicing yet. We go to slice now, and this takes a few seconds because we've got an extremely high dense polygon model. Down here is your loading bar in case you click it and nothing happens and you're wondering, well, what's the problem? That's all it is. Right now, it's basically building a layer by layer setup for this particular model so that it knows the calculations and the coding to send to the printer so that it knows on any particular layer how the shape of the cross section would look if you would slice it horizontally. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. I'm not going to do the roof on that here. I'm just going to show you this example here. You do the exact same thing as I'm doing here with the roof, and then you'd be good to go. Some models that are like this dense are going to take a little bit. That just finished. Now you go down to preview. Again, your software is going to be a little different, but it's more or less, good enough. You've got plenty of material supporting the base here, and unfortunately that's just not something I can fix unless I improve the overhang or whatnot, make it just a solid cylinder down there. I do want this little hole there, and that's kind of a pain in the butt to get that support out, but I kind of want it to have this little juncture out because that's kind of the part of it. A lot of this piece here, some of the door here, you can just pop that out. This will be inevitable because you have the wood beam overhang, and again, you could try to lift that angle so it doesn't have so much support on it. But that's, again, that stuff is a quick grab with your pliers and pull, and it's off. Your little firebox is easy to pull out. There's nothing to it. There's not that much support for the window, which is good. And like I said, there's support inside to support the building, but who cares? This all can stay in there. And if you want, I mean, if you want to clean it out, you can, but you don't have to because it's going to be covered with the lid once it's done. Now, after this, and I'm happy with it, and I'm ready to do it, I export the G code, and basically I'll do that first. And I usually put it in the actual flash drive or the SD card. But here I'm just going to basically put it here, base. And it not only registers, I like the G code here because once it's done, it should, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but it should tell me sometimes what the printing time is going to be. Once it can, the G code is basically the computation telling the printer mathematically, coordinate by coordinate, and coding how to print the thing off. And here it is, 17 hours and 37 minutes. The whole thing took 24 hours earlier. So unfortunately, this thing, because it's two prints, it's going to be probably longer than 23 hours, unfortunately, because it has to have two separate prints of equally lengthy times. But doing this dramatically reduces the amount of support material. The filament right here, it shows the amount of cubic millimeters of how much plastic you're going to be using, and that's not really true. It's not 53 meters. Well, technically it is. It's not 53 meters of actual filament. Your filament's only going to be 1.75, ish, 2 millimeters thick, but it's going to be 53 meters long. So it's going to have more than enough in your spool to do that. And you can actually go in here and lower this thing down to see layer by layer of how the thing is going to be built. It's important to go through here and make sure there's no gaps. Sometimes the stupid thing likes to put a gap in there for absolutely no reason. But everything looks fine here. So once you do that, I've got the exported code. Then I export the STL file as base. I like to keep the G code and the STL file that are final the same. And then I'm done. We're done here. You take those two files, you save them onto, hey, how's it going? I'm just now noticed I was too concentrated on on modeling, missed it. But hey, good to have you here. We're just wrapping up the witch's hut here and just kind of going through the last little piece here for getting this thing for printing purposes. Most of the printers, you can either plug them into your computer, but a lot of people just use an SD card. I think it's easiest to do that way. You get a flash drive that is capable of taking an SD card. I find that's the easiest way. If your computer actually takes an SD card directly, that's even better. Some monitors do that. Whatever it is, just get your SD card plugged in to your computer, and then it acts as just a flash drive. You dump your file into, you need your STL file, and you need the G code file, both of them. And then take that to your printer, stuck it in there, and it will read. It'll read the file, and you just heat it up, put your filament in, hit print, you're ready to go. That's all there is to it. So, well, hopefully everybody got plenty of info on this one. Like I said, we went a little bit longer on this this live thing, but this will be automatically turned into a video on my YouTube channel. It's just the simple Polytricks one you're visiting right now. So the file of this video will be automatically uploaded immediately after we're done here. And so anybody who missed it late, wants to skip through it, go back over it, touch up on some of the things we touched up on, feel free to do that. Matter of fact, there's 16 other episodes, as I do 2 of these a week. And then basically they're just, they're not me just making absolutely perfect models every time. You see the ins and outs, the mistakes I make, the corrections I do, the troubleshooting I do. I also go through a lot of the explanation of what the tools are in any particular situation. And I give a little bit of words of wisdom on sometimes just, when bad models happen and dealing with the scrapping of it and starting back over again and how that happens. So hope you guys enjoyed tonight's streaming. It's ran a bit late, but I'm going to log off here for tonight. We'll wrap back up on Monday. Since the Witch's Hut's done, the next thing we're going to be building, that's a good question. Let's consult the Book of Alms. Alms, chapter 1, verse 9 through 25. Oh, Lord, blessed art thou. Oh, yeah. So we're going to make something that is going to be a little bit on the cheeky side. I don't believe Zelda was the originator of making giant faces on trees. I'm pretty sure that's been around for a long time. There's been a lot of illustrations for decades on that. But we're not going to make that actual Deku tree. But we are going to make one with a face on it, and mustache, beard, whatever, roots, things like that, as we continue to make this fairy tale collection. All these pieces are going to be tied in with fairy tales so that, especially with parents who have kids and they want to start playing role playing games, they want to add that element of fairy tale magic to it. Um, they can use these pieces and it works as well. And if they just want to play just a regular RPG game that's fantasy, they can use it as well. It's a witch's hut is a witch's hut. But yeah, we're going to be working on that on Monday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to check that in. And again, if you miss these, it's not that big of a deal. They're going to be uploaded right onto YouTube. So feel free to jump in there afterwards and watch it at your leisure. So until then, this is Simple Polytrex, and wishing you all a good week and into the weekend. We'll see you again next Monday. Cheers, guys.